Mr. Jain to also come on stage. And I would request Mr. Manoj Kumar, Chief Workshop Manager at the Ministry of Railways, to please come on stage and present our speakers with a small memento from our side. We want to thank them for coming here and sharing their insights with us. Our next keynote presentation is by our partners PTC. Please welcome on stage Mr. Rajkiran C, IoT Sales Director of PTC India. Mr. Kiran is going to speak to us about IoT augmented reality app development for the industry and enterprise. Please put your hands together for Mr. Kiran.
For the setup. Yeah, good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? So I stand before your tea break, I'm aware of that. Let me go into the first. How many of you have seen these numbers before? The number of devices that will be connected to the internet by the year 2020 and beyond. I assume a fair number of you? All right. And how many of you have seen these numbers before? The number of applications that will be needed to be created in the IoT space to tackle the business problems and to make changes when IoT is everywhere. Okay? So you see the numbers there. It's 5 million applications that will be required to be created when there's about 50 billion devices connected to the internet. And by 2035, that's 500 million applications. Okay? A huge number there. Therefore, application development is that important. And it is very key to roll out applications at a rapid pace and to make sure that you make changes to those applications, because your initial product will not be the final product which will be required by customers, by partners, and there'll be a lot of changes needed for those things. Now, what are the challenges with IoT app development? There's the traditional software development, which we're all familiar with, being a big software exporter in the country. And you know, there is a process for that. There's a software development lifecycle methodology adopted by the various companies, big and small here. And that's typically a process of 6 to 9 months from requirements gathering till the end product is created. But in the IoT space, you don't have 6 to 9 months because you will have to hit the market very soon, either with the initial application or with creating something that is a small change to the application which has already been created, right? And therefore, the challenges you will face are around all of these areas. Connectivity, because IoT is all about initially connecting the devices. The protocols, because the IoT industry has grown in a very inorganic fashion. There's different protocols adopted by different sensor manufacturers, different device manufacturers, etc. You'll need specialized architects for them. You'll need BI experts. You'll need web designers. You'll need dashboard experts, people who can create mashups very well. Then you'll have the lower layer of the stack with network experts, database administrators, analytics guys when there's a lot of data, and so on, right? UI, integration, all of these are challenges. And then once created, you don't know whether it'll scale. Can it be extended, right? And what are the other things you can add on as functionality on top of the built applications? So these are the challenges. ThingWorx was founded in 2009 with a singular vision of making application development very easy and rapid. Okay? Much like Google was founded on the vision when the internet was booming, and people knew, the founders of Google, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, knew that people, when there's so many websites around, you will need to have an engine to search for the relevant information to actually get what you need. And that's why they founded that in 1999. Similar foundation for ThingWorx. Okay? That's what our founders envisioned. So application development is that easy. With the ThingWorx Foundation, you can build purpose-built applications in a quick, scalable manner and having a very rich UI. Okay? ThingWorx, by the way, was acquired by PTC in 2014, and now we're part of a larger company, and PTC is now a billion-dollar company based in Boston. I'll show you a few examples of applications that were built in just about 3 weeks. And this is about the time that it should take for you to build an application, ideally, to hit the market soon, right? You shouldn't be wasting time on unwanted processes. And with ThingWorx, you can do that in a very codeless fashion. This is something we did for Audi. And it's a traffic viewer, it's a fleet management solution, and with this application that was built, Audi could monitor or track different cars of theirs, there's a chassis number on the left side, in different parts of Northern Europe and in Germany, okay? And then you could go into loading different data about the engine information, of the various devices, and get into the parameters to know the health of the machine, the way the car is being driven, and so on. Okay? And that's the heat map of where the majority of cars are and the traffic information, all that integrated into one. And this is something that was built in a very short time, given that Audi had an onboard tracking device and sensors already fitted into their application. That's an example. Now, the other is something we did for L'Oreal. And this is the interface we did. This is for the manufacturing shop floor. And this was a plant for bottling and creating different cosmetics. And this shows you the overall equipment optimization, the performance quality and availability of various different plant lines, the utilization at any point in time. It's a plant manager's dream to actually see all of this on a dashboard that's dynamic and updated rapidly. Okay? And if you see this interface, you actually see the kind of bottles, the orders that you can just enter into the interface, and it picks up the right raw materials and gives you the requisite output. And it tells you what the scrap levels are. You have all that information on the left side, on the production side, on the how much scrap is there, what's the target value. You see there, someone's giving a quantity for the number of bottles that need to be made of shampoos. Okay, so this is an applicability, and quite a good application that's created. Now we go into process industry, and you will hear the architect speak here. Can you raise the volume a little bit? So this is a PNID diagram. We've done this for Dexp, which is a process company or a conglomerate. And there's a PNID diagram that has various elements. And you'll see on the left how you can drill down into the granular detail of each parts of the assembly line. What is not working? Okay, so again, you can drill down into the various aspects here. You'll actually see that someone's going to click into the heat exchanger and look at the specific module or the machine and how it's performing. You can also pull up a PDF file that details the functionality of each of those machines and so on. You can go into each nozzle level. I don't know if you can see it from there, but nozzles are there. And you can go into seeing whether there is any issue with any of those. So you can use this as a predictive maintenance application or a dashboard as well. So you can drill down into each, yeah, that's the heat exchanger drill down that I was talking about. Sorry, what did you say? Yeah, he's actually put the cable in, but it's not. One second. Yeah, I don't need much audio for this one, but there is another video coming up later in which I'm particular that there should be audio. Great. What video have All right, so I'll just continue with this. How did we build those applications, right? And this is what our platform is about. This is the ThingWorx platform that's been recognized industry-wide, both for industrial manufacturing and for application development. So these are the two key areas in which we are the visionaries in the Gartner's IDC's quadrant. Everybody's got their own version of what a platform must do. This is our story. Platform is a very overused word in the IoT industry. This is what we think a comprehensive IoT platform must do. If you see the green band in the middle, there's 5 steps, and that's what we're classifying them into, right? There's source, contextualize, synthesize, orchestrate, and engage. The source step is about getting data from the various different devices. Okay? And those devices can be field devices, can be factory equipment, can be business systems, can be design systems, product lifecycle systems, etc. Right? So we get that data into the central ThingWorx platform. That all obviously involves getting a lot of sensors in place and tapping into the data, retrofitting sensors into existing plant equipment, and getting all that into the central platform. That's step one, and that's only step one. There's a lot of companies that focus only on doing that. We believe that's only step one. Step two, we've got all this data. We've got to utilize it, which means you've got to put it, contextualize it, you've got to put it in a format which is readable, understandable for future use. Okay? By statistic, about 90% of the data that's generated is not utilized, and we've got to tackle that problem. And for IoT and analytics, which is pretty synonymous, you need a lot of data, and you need to make sense of the data that's already there. That's what we do with the contextualized step. We've got something called the ThingWorx data model, or the Thing model. That's an industry-leading model. It's a very object-oriented model with which you structure the data that's coming into the system, and you accurately depict the physical world into the digital world. Okay? That's step two. Now you've got the data in a format that is structured, that is homogeneous. Third step is synthesize. That's where analytics comes in. That's where machine learning comes in. We've got the tools for that, and you can then build predictive models. You can do remote monitoring. You can create deep learning models with our synthesis tool. The fourth is orchestrate. Now you've got all that insights from the analytics models. Now you're in a position to actually, as your enterprise, have recommendations on how you should change your business processes. Okay? And you can change your workflow. You can see what is your as-is process and what it needs to be in future, etc. That's in the orchestrate model. We've got the tools for that. Engage is where you create applications in quick time. We've got something called ThingWorx Mashup Builder, and we've got the augmented reality piece, which is actually putting the physical data into graphics and presenting that in the real world. Okay, and I'll come to augmented reality in this latter half of my section. This is the only product description that you'll really find, product or solutions. And this is our comprehensive set of components in the ThingWorx suite. So you've got analytics on the left, you've got the edge connectivity, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with all of these terminologies. And you've got the data exchanges in the bottom layer called Kepware, if you must have heard of it in the manufacturing space. Augmented reality is on the right side. We make it easy. We've got a 70% market share in AR and different kinds of offerings to tackle your problems with actually visual impact. And it's no longer a jazz factor. There's actually cost savings that you can derive out of AR. Okay? I'm going into the AR section. I've got a couple of videos. I hope audio works, but I've got to fix that because you'll need to listen to the audio. But to start, a picture is worth 1,000 words. A graphic or a video is worth 1,000 pictures. When you're looking at something, you learn it much faster. So one of the main applicabilities of AR is in the training space, is in workforce training. Someone who's not trained per the manual and just goes out to the field and is told something specific about a machine he's in front of. He looks at it through a handheld device or a tablet and then sees what needs to be done. That is the power of AR. Okay? So training, servicing, service technician can be out into the field looking at a printer he knows nothing about. And then if you give him graphics on how to tackle it, AR is applicable there. Like I was saying, now IoT and AR are complementary. Physical into digital is IoT. Digital back into physical is AR. And there's a human in between, right? Imagine that, looking at a plant equipment through a handheld device and seeing the statistics of the plant equipment right in front of you. Okay? That's what you can do with AR. Now, this is in the consumer space. Today, when you're driving, you're actually looking at Google Maps either on your phone or on a display which is on the dashboard of the car. Tomorrow, you should be able to integrate them. You should be able to see it in the glass, not have to take your eyes off the roads, right? And this is coming. This technology is coming. It's there already in some areas, but it's going to be prevalent very soon when the car manufacturers start using it. These are the various different applicabilities of AR. It is not limited to this. One of the things is to visualize the design. So there's a designer there who's actually designing a machine who wants to visualize how it will look as an end product. And he can actually see the graphic in front of the real life machine. So you can use it to visualize. you can use it to instruct somebody to do something like the example I was giving before. You tell somebody knob number 100 is what you need to turn, and this is what you need to do. So we've got something called Vuforia Chalk as an offering to do that. Interacting, this is for work instructions. For example, you're assembling an equipment, and there's a video around it. If you're assembling an equipment with augmented reality, it needs to sense whether you've put in the right components for it to recommend what the next step is. Okay? And now is when I need the audio. Let me just check if this, no, it's not working.
To short custom. Today, and
this is something we did with a company called Howden Colfax. They're in the welding, air and gas monitoring, gas and electricity monitoring space. And you can take a look at what we did with augmented reality there. And you can see the designs actually superimposed on the physical object. Okay? Let's go on.
Today, industrial companies are facing serious issue around downtime. Industry reports suggest that a single hour can cost between $1 and $5 million. At PTC, we are helping our industrial customers reduce downtime through Vuforia mixed reality and augmented reality solutions.
I can take care of it.
PTC's Vuforia Studio solution allows customers to easily drag and drop and create a mixed reality experience in hours.
It should just come directly. It was coming earlier.
Using PTC's Vuforia Studio, one of our industrial
It's already there. It's
customers
already.
was able to easily and quickly create a mixed reality experience. Howden is an original equipment manufacturer. Our products can be found in virtually every application. If this is
Okay, go ahead.
today, industrial companies are facing
around downtime. Industry reports suggest that a single hour can cost between $1 and $5 million. At PTC, we are helping our industrial customers reduce downtime through Vuforia mixed reality and augmented reality solutions. PTC's Vuforia Studio solution allows customers to easily drag and drop and create a mixed reality experience in hours instead of days or weeks. Using PTC's Vuforia Studio, one of our industrial customers, Howden, was able to easily and quickly create a mixed reality experience.
Howden is an original equipment manufacturer. Our products can be found in virtually every air and gas application. If this equipment ever goes offline, it costs a lot of money.
Compressor is a critical equipment within the wastewater plant. Plant operators are not typically expert of compressors.
Our customers are looking for us for solutions to empower them and how to best service their equipment.
Today, Howden is pulling ThingWorx data that's operating on an Azure IoT cloud, and it's overlaying that information in context through mixed reality.
We're overlaying the digital twin data on the physical product to show our customers the operating condition and the performance of the equipment.
Literally at their fingertip, we can provide 160 years of compressor knowledge.
Using Microsoft HoloLens, that customer experience is truly immersive, and you get to understand a lot more, and it's just a new way of looking at your equipment that you've never had before.
With the PTC Vuforia solution and the Microsoft HoloLens together, I think we can really provide a transformative experience for our customers in the industrial market.
That's one, and I'll show you another video that we did with BAE Systems that's in the aerospace area.
There's huge growth in this market, but it is unsustainable unless we embrace new technology.
BAE Systems is committed to solving the most complex problems our customers have.
Here at BAE Systems, we make the electric propulsion for hybrid drive buses.
Our production tempo has increased dramatically. We've brought on a lot of new people. That's forced us to look at innovative solutions to build product correctly every time.
How do we do that? How did we do that? It's with mixed reality.
When I first tried a HoloLens, I quickly understood that this technology would have significant implications for our business and that we needed to get out in front of it. We had to find a platform that could help us scale, and that's when we began the conversations with PTC.
PTC's mission is to bridge the physical and the digital worlds, whether it's manufacturing, operating, or servicing physical products. We came along and we had a mixed reality solution to allow them to create experiences with the HoloLens quicker and more efficiently. It's all drag and drop. You don't need a lot of technical expertise. You get up and running right away. It just makes it a lot faster and easier to get a lot of people using the experiences that were created with our software.
PTC's mixed reality solution is allowing us to drag and drop our 3D models that we already have to create manual constructions to deliver to our production floor in hours and at a tenth of the cost.
We develop a step-by-step guide that lets the assembler completely assemble the battery.
You're not looking at this in 2 dimensions anymore on a screen that's far away from you. It's right in front of you.
The HoloLens has really become beneficial in allowing us to train new people on this product 30 to 40% more efficiently.
Using the HoloLens, I was able to cut my assembly time in half. We can understand and we can learn so much faster, efficiently, feel a part of this process.
Microsoft has really nailed it with the HoloLens platform, and PTC is helping us scale this affordably across the enterprise.
20 years ago, we didn't have personal computers on every bench. 10 years ago, we didn't have 3D printers. Now I can't imagine building without those. And I think this is what the HoloLens represents. It's the next step in the evolution of high-tech manufacturing.
The future of mixed reality is really exciting because the possibilities are endless. We're just starting to scratch the surface of it.
It really is endless what we're going to be able to do, where we can go. This is going to help us get there.
Right, so you saw the 2 videos, you saw the power of AR. Thank you very much for fixing that. I'm happy that technology is commonplace and someone from the audience helped me with that. Great, so now you saw Microsoft partnership with that. So we create the software, they create the hardware, and you can have your hands free because you don't have to hold, you can do the same thing by holding a mobile device in front of you, or you can just wear this, right? We've got partnerships. We believe in the spirit of ecosystem. Microsoft is one of our strategic alliance partners worldwide, but we also look at partners that are domain experts and are building specific domain applications and can speak speak the language with the customer, irrespective of what the industry they're in, right? So that's what we call OEM partnerships. It is to build applications on top of the ThingWorx platform, which is a purely horizontal platform, and you can use it for any purpose. Okay, so we invite those of you who are interested in app building as well. Great, so I kept that pretty short. Open for questions now. I can take a few questions. Unless everything is clear. Yeah, please. I don't know if there's a mic. I can hear you. Yeah. I heard India and HoloLens. We are. So we've got a few active POCs that are running right now with Microsoft with the HoloLens portion. Now the HoloLens 2 has just been released recently, and it's for industrial use cases. Okay, because the price point of a HoloLens is $3,500. It's a standard price. And therefore, and it's a very new product. It was announced in Barcelona during Mobile World Congress in the previous year. We've got 4 or 5 pilots that are running at the moment, and I'm sure one or two of them will convert in the short term. I'm talking about India. This has already been implemented, as you saw, in the other parts of the world. These are all active installations with BAE and Howden Colfax, etc. And we've got 50, say, installations abroad. In India, it's just catching on. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that your platform allows the business team to themselves make the models for augmented reality?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Both on the ThingWorx side and on the AR side. We've got, if you're asking specifically about AR, we've got a tool called Vuforia Studio, in which we provide the interface, and you can just drag and drop and create an application in quick time. Okay? It is intended to be for the business users without much knowledge of what goes on in the background. If you are a core developer in AR, like one of our partners here is, you can use something else called the Vuforia engine to build something from scratch. Okay, so Vuforia Studio is for end consumers who want to build something which is half built, and you just want to create the interface on top of it. So you can. Yes, there are no other questions. Thank you very much. I'm around until lunch, so we can catch up. Thanks.
Big round of applause for Mr. Kiran. Very interesting options that exist with augmented reality. Mr. Kiran, I request you to please come back on stage. We want to thank you for coming here and sharing your insights with the audience. I would request Ms. Bhavna Arora, Bachori, DGF IT and Azure Power to please come on stage and present Mr. Kiran with a memento from our side.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are very happy to have partnered with Hitachi